So bring it on. Everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do, yeah. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I know it's gonna be everything new. So get ready, my soul. I'm diving in.
Rearrange the furniture here a little bit. Wow, let's give another hand. Where's Daniel Nahmad? Where is he? Where'd he go? There he is over there, yes. That was awesome, and you know, we consider you kind of local here, Daniel. We kind of, this community claims you as one of our own here, so you are at home. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Love it. Love so many of your songs, Daniel. This is the first time, though, that we are collaborating here, so it's beautiful. Been listening to Daniel's music for a long time. Yes. Love what you shared today, Mark. I didn't mind hearing some of it for a second time. That was wonderful. Yeah. And, you know, we have practitioners here at the center. Mark is one, Monica, we have about 8 practitioners, plus we have ministers that are also practitioners. So when we're ready to make a change, when we're ready to shift, and if we're having trouble making that shift, we can go to a practitioner and get support. Practitioner, minister, we can go and get some support for what it is we want to manifest. And what I say is that whenever you go to a practitioner, something will shift. That I can guarantee. I can't guarantee any specific results, because then legally, you get into, I got to stay clean. But I guarantee you that something will shift if you go to a practitioner. You'll be feeling maybe heavy, you'll be feeling stressed, you'll be feeling whatever, and you go to a practitioner and something will shift. And you will come out of there with a greater, more expanded sense of who you are. Yes? Yes. So I really encourage you to, also, I want to share this quote from Rumi that I was really resonating with. I've really been resonating with this quote that says, "Yesterday, I was clever, and I wanted to change the world. But today, I am wise, so I'm changing myself." Yes, today I am wise, so I am changing myself. How many of you are wanting to manifest something? How many of you are working on manifesting something right now as we speak? Yeah, many of you, yes? Some of you are working on manifesting a home or a bigger home or a nicer home. Some of you are working on manifesting a relationship. Some of you are working on manifesting a new car. Some of you are working on just manifesting deeper peace within your own being. What I want to say is, today's talk really is about how forgiveness is the key to all of that. Forgiveness is remember I told you, my first minister, Reverend Dr. Eloise Oliver, if you ever went to her for counseling, for coaching, you ever went to her with anything, relationship, prosperity, anything, she would say, "Who do you need to forgive?" So I'm going to put it to you. See, I've been just talking about that theoretically before now, right? I never asked you the question. I just said, that's what she would say, right? That's what she would say to people who came to her. What do you need to forgive? But today it's going to be all about you. Look at that. Everybody got quiet. Whoa. Where are you going with that? I'm going to ask you in your, especially that thing that maybe you're just having a difficult time manifesting. You've been working on that, and you're just having a difficult time bringing it in. And I'm going to ask you, who is it that you need to forgive? Who is it that you need to forgive this morning? It's a very important question. And here's a clue. Here's a clue to that, or a prompt for that, which is we need to forgive everyone. So that means anyone who you have not forgiven, anyone that you are holding anything against, would be in that category of who you need to forgive. Yes, it's getting really quiet in here. I don't know. I want to say something about you right now. I want to say something about you. Yeah, you. And you. And you. And you. And you. And you. And I don't have enough fingers to point to everyone. You are too big, too magnificent, too luminescent to be carrying anything in your being other than love and light. That's your nature, love and light. You're bigger than any of the rest of that stuff, right? You're bigger than any of the rest of that stuff. There's a scripture where Jesus is talking and he says, if you have aught against your brother, basically go handle that first before you bring your gifts and your tithes and your offerings. Like, don't come in here with that energy. Like, go handle that. Go take care of that. We'll give you a pass today. You can still put money in the collection plate, and then go handle it after the service. I'm not a fool. But essentially, our role with this forgiveness is to get all of that out of the way, because this forgiveness, Ernest Holmes said, when we do a prayer, or even when we're just living our life, we should have nothing but love flowing through our being, because that is our nature. So anything that we're wanting to manifest, if there's anything other than love in our being, it's being blocked. It's blocking the very energy, the very essence, the very movement of what it is that we want to bring into expression. Now let's talk about judgment for a moment. Why not, right? Is judgment related to forgiveness at all? How is judgment related to forgiveness? How is judgment related to forgiveness? I'll turn to the front here where we've got ministers, practitioners lined up here. How is judgment related to forgiveness? Good judgment, but how is judgment in a not so good way related to forgiveness? Dr. Morris said good judgment is related to forgiveness, but how about not so good judgment? But Dr. Morris says it doesn't have anything to do with it, but maybe we're gonna see where this goes. If we're, it what? It creates the need. Judgment creates the need. So if we're judging someone, this is a type of, the judgment I'm talking about right now is not judgment as in your wise judgment, but judgment in the sense of when you're creating a story about someone, that is, because the only story that's true about someone is what? There goes God. The only story that's true about anyone is there's God in front of me right here. That's God right there. That's a divine expression of God. So, Claudia, what do you say?
It blocks forgiveness, I think.
Judgment blocks forgiveness. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, one of the ways that judgment comes in, as I see it, to forgiveness is often what stops us forgiving is our judgment. Right? It's like, right? It's like that person I was praying with that one time. I told you the story. I was praying with two women who had met at the center that I was part of at the time, and they had become roommates, and they've just started clashing. And they both came to me, and I was praying with each of them individually, and I was praying with one of them one night, and I was doing the normal prayer, right? The normal prayer, I am one with God. She is one with God. The other woman is one with God. But the woman who was on the phone, when I said the other woman was one with God, she said, no, I do not accept that. It was a very interesting prayer. So our judgment can get in the way of us forgiving another person because we have a story about that person. We have a story about them, therefore, we're not going to let them off the hook. But here's the thing is, who is forgiveness for? Yourself. It's for ourselves. We're not letting anyone on the hook or off the hook. They're living their life. They might have forgot about you altogether. We're holding them on a hook, and they're like out there partying, having a good time. I got you on a hook. Oh, you really? I'm having a good time here. We're not holding anyone on a hook. Our forgiveness of anyone is not about them at all, not even a little bit. Our forgiveness is about us clearing our field of anything that is unlike love and light. Anything that is unlike love and light will block your full expression and my full expression. Yes? Yes. You are too big, too magnificent, too luminescent to be anything other than in your love and in your light. I was sharing a story recently about how I used to be afraid of going to the dentist. And I used to be afraid of getting blood drawn. You know, like when they would draw blood, I would start to get faint. And just the thought of it, I was just like, you know. And I was also afraid of spiders. I'm not crazy about spiders. But they actually no longer have the hair stand on my arm, which they used to. Used to be, if I saw a spider, the hair would literally stand on my arm. And I was sharing that with someone recently, and they said, so did you do a treatment for that? Because I don't have that fear anymore, those fears anymore. And someone said, well, did you do a treatment about that? And I thought about it. I said, well, no, not specifically. And it reminded me of today's talk, because today's talk is really about our light, our magnificence, how big we are as divine beings. And that once we begin to allow that light and that love to fully shine through our being, through our spiritual practice, we're doing our meditation, we're doing our prayer. Once that light, once our awareness, once our eyes, once our seeing becomes seeing through this light that is God within us, it starts to transform everything in our experience. Everything. Nothing can stay the same. I've even, and I'm not trying to be arrogant here. It's not me, no. But I've even told people that, you know, if I was starting to date someone, I've even said, well, if you date me, like you're going to be transformed, right? Like you're not going to be able to not be transformed. It's kind of like one of those disclaimers with one of those warning labels, right? Warning, if you date me, you're not going to be able to hold on to all your resentment and anger. You're not going to be able to hold on to all your stories of less than. And you won't be able to, not because I'm going to try to change you, but when we have that light shining forth from us, we have that love flowing in us, when we are the presence of God, and we all are the presence of God, but when to be the presence of God in real life is that we've centered ourselves to such a degree, we've done so much spiritual practice, opened ourselves, we have such a willingness to let go of anything that is unlike God. Everything in our path, everything that we look at, everything that we see begins to transform. And so when I look at those things that I just shared about fear of those things, there was never a moment when I treated on and prayed on, like, let me no longer be afraid of needles. There was never a moment when I said, let me no longer be afraid of dentists, or let me no longer be afraid of spiders. I just began to show up as the love and light that I am, and everything that was unlike it, which is a process continuing today. For any of those things that are still not fully orbed in my life, it's like the love and the light that's being shown upon them, everything in its path gets transformed. It's quite extraordinary because now I had a fear of getting, any kind of needle, and especially drawing blood where they got your arm out there and they're poking you and with the blood's filling up in the vial. And these days I go to a research hospital, so they want, usually it's like one, it used to be like one vial, then it was like 2 vials. At a research hospital, they go, oh, we want 6 vials. They're like, okay, we'll put another one in there. Okay, another one. But it's comes to the point now where I can watch them put the needle in, watch the blood coming out, watch them replace the canister with another canister, and I marvel at that, given how much fear that brought to me before, where I literally felt like I was going to faint before. Or when I would walk into a dentist's office, it would be so much fear in me. And now I had 2 teeth pulled. I still had some wisdom teeth, and I had a couple teeth pulled recently, a year ago. And I went in there, and the dentist did all this, but like he pulled one, and he's like, "You want to take a break?" And I'm like, no, just keep going. And then he pulled a second one, and he goes, "Wow, you did really good." And I said, "Well, you were doing all the work. I was just sitting here meditating." And that's literally what was happening. That's literally what was happening, because what I'm saying is that love and light in our being, as we cultivate that and we become that, it just starts to dissolve everything else in its path. It starts to dissolve everything else. So I never did a specific prayer. Just things in my life started to be transformed. Things that didn't work before started to work. Things that were fears before were no longer fears. Things that I wouldn't take on, steps that I wouldn't take, they just became not obstacles anymore. So, forgiveness. Forgiveness is simply about having nothing but love in your being. No matter what you think about, when you think about that person, any person, all you have is love flowing through your being. We're going to do a workshop. I'm going to do a workshop on the 24th. So if you're wanting more specifics about the how-to of that, come to the workshop, because it's essential. It's essential that we have nothing but love flowing through our being. When we do a prayer, we're sending forth our word, and our word is an energy that's creating something. If we're not full of love and light, we're diluting that energy. We're distorting that energy. I have a couple examples in my life, which a couple I've shared before, I'm not going to share those today, of where I could see so clearly how things were getting distorted. Things I was trying to manifest in my life, and instead of the thing I wanted manifesting, like wonky stuff started to manifest. Like what started to show up was the thing, but with a whole bunch of wonkiness. It was like, what is this? That's that lack of forgiveness. There's not a clear pathway for the manifestation to take place, because the manifestation rides on an energy of love. So if you start putting all this other stuff in there and diluting that and distorting that, then the manifestation itself gets distorted. Now again, I want to share with you, just this week, really a beautiful manifestation for me, which is, and I just love how God is when we really show up in love and light. When we really show up, and again, there was no specific prayer about this. There was just an intention, and there was just a shining of the love and light. But I moved here a year ago to Redondo Beach, and I was living in Bakersfield at the time, and which is 2 hours away. and I was looking for a place. I didn't know anything about Redondo Beach. So I was like, it was like a not such an intelligent process, because I'm like, where? I don't know anything about this place, but I need to find a place to live because I'm going to be starting to be the minister here in a couple weeks. And so I found a place it was like a decent place, right? But as I started to look and get to know the area better, I said I would really like either a place that is less expensive, because I'm right down by the harbor, so I'm paying a good rent. So I said I would either like a place less expensive. Okay, that would be great. I'll save money. Or if I'm going to pay a good amount of money, at least let me have a view of the ocean. Either one or the other. But I love the way God works, because God said, what about both? What about both? And so I was walking along on Tuesday. I was walking along the Esplanade, and I swear a building that wasn't there before, but now is fully built and looks like it's been there for years. I never noticed this building. And oddly enough, I absolutely noticed the building next to it. Like, oh yeah, I know that building. And I stopped. Without any particular reason, I stopped in front of this building. And right then and there, I started Googling it. And then it popped up their website. And then it popped up, we have one apartment available right now with an ocean view. And the rent was less than what I'm paying now. Thank you, yes. But then I love the way God works, because God wasn't done yet. I said either this or this, and God said, how about both? And then God said, and I call you and I'll raise you. Poker. I'm not good at poker, but I know that. And so God said, how about more space too? So instead of either less rent or a view, it's like less rent, a view, and more space. Yes. You want me to give my address to the whole world, broadcasting on YouTube to the whole world? Ask me after the service, Bill. But I just love how God works when we get out of the way. When we're just living our life, there is the practices, meditation and spiritual mind treatment. They're very important, but they are the practices. And then at some point, the practice isn't the end. The practice is to get us into an embodiment of the teaching, so that we are a living, walking, breathing embodiment of the teaching, such that everything in our life starts to show up as a miracle. Miracle after miracle after miracle. Anyone signing up for that? Yes. So I conclude with the message that you are too big, too magnificent, and too luminescent to hold on to anything other than love and light, which is the truth of your being. Thank you so much for listening today. Thank you. You all are awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. You all are awesome. And speaking of awesome, we've got Daniel Nahmod coming up for another song.
Well, about 8 different songs come to mind from that beautiful talk. And I have several of you who told me have requested several of my songs, which I will definitely do during my little concert today. If you feel like sticking around, just about hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half of songs, kind of a simple thing. We'll be in this room. Looking forward to singing you some more. And so here is a song about letting go when it's time. Here we go. when my hands were empty, when my hope was gone, I couldn't help but wonder, what had I done wrong? But even though my heart was broken, there was no need to despair, 'cause a vessel must be open to put something better there. Oh yeah. Into my empty hands, gently you pour new life for me. Yours is a perfect plan. The ups and the downs were meant to be. Now I understand. You needed my empty hand. So forgive me when I doubt it. I admit sometimes I do. Or consider giving up 'cause I cannot see the truth. I know I'll never go without it. Your deep and abiding love. Into my empty hands, gently you pour new life for me. Yours is a perfect plan. The ups and the downs were meant to be. Now I understand. You needed my empty hand. Yours is a perfect plan. The ups and the downs were meant to be. And I cannot help but cry to think of the gifts you've given me. Now I understand. You needed my empty hands. So thank you for my thank you for my empty hands.
Daniel Nahmod. Yes, yes. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, we really know how to have a good time in this community, don't we? Yes, yes, yes. We reached that time of conscious giving. Thank you for the ways that you give to this community and help us to keep on growing into the greater mission, the greater vision that we have for this community. There's really a big vision for this community. There's really big things we're here to do. And really, it starts with transforming ourselves. But then, as I said in the talk, once we become so filled with love and light, we can't help but draw others unto us. And in drawing others unto us, we start to grow this community and help others to also see the light that is the truth of their being. Who's up for having a ministry themselves and being the light, not only just being the light for yourself, but being the light for others as well? Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. I'm going to not give another talk here. So, so we've reached our time of conscious giving. Many different ways to give. You can text to give 424-379-3733. You can go to the website, redondocsl.org/donate, the QR code. Those of you online, we appreciate your giving as well. If you received something good today, please consider supporting us financially. Thank you so much. And our ushers today. Wow, we've got a great, look at this powerful core of ushers here. We've got Bob and Fred and Mary Lou and Linda. Yeah, give them some love. This is the dream team right here. They're like well, let's do our affirmation together as we hold our hand, our gift in our hand, or our hands to our heart. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love, and so it is. Yes.
I'm grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling. I'm grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is. I'm grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling. I'm grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is, God is all there is.
Yes, God is all there is. Thank you, Elise. Thank you, John Louis. Let's give them some love. And thank you, Elise, for doing the work behind the scenes to get Daniel Nahmod here for us. Yeah. Yes. All right, let's stand. Let's do some prayer. We got to do practice, right? We got to step into practice, right? So let's do our spiritual mind treatment. And hopefully, with all this practice we're doing every Sunday where we're doing a spiritual mind treatment, we're doing the 5 steps. So you got the treatment right there inside of you at any time to speak your word. So let's do it. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And I, Gregory, speak my word, and I declare that I am big in God. I am magnificent in God. I am luminescent in God. Everything in my experience is transformed by the light of my awareness. I'm a walking, living, breathing transformation machine. I bring love and light wherever I go. And it changes everything. I am grateful. I release this word to that immutable law that only knows to say yes. Therefore, I know it is done as I've declared. So I let it be. And so it is. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So join hands with your neighbor if you're comfortable as we sing the peace song. Ministers, practitioners coming up here on the stage.